In this video, I'm going to show you how to write the equation of a parabola given 3 points on that parabola. So before we begin, you need to know standard form. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. In order to find the equation of this parabola, we need to figure out what is a, what is b, and what is c. So what we're going to do is use the 3 points that we were given to figure out A, B, and C. So bear with me here. I'm going to set up 3 equations, one for each point. So the first point I'm starting with is 0, 5. It has an x value of 0 and a y value of 5. What I'm going to do is set up an equation with the x value of 0 and y value of 5 in standard form. So everywhere that you see a y in standard form, you're going to replace it with 5. Everywhere that you see an x in standard form, you're going to replace it with 0. So I haven't touched A, B, and C. All I've done is replace the y with 5 and the 2 x's with 0. Now, if you have a bunch of stuff multiplied by 0, those terms are going to end up canceling. Since those go away, we're left with 5 equals c, or c is equal to 5. Now, if you recognized that 0, 5 is a y-intercept, you could have skipped this step because in standard form, c is always your y-intercept anyway. But if you want to double check, you can still set up your equation and you can see that c is equal to 5. So we're already a third of the way done with this problem. We just need to figure out A and B now. So what I'm going to do is set up 2 other equations the same way I did the first one, starting with 2, 1. Everywhere that you see a y, you're going to put 1. Everywhere that you see an x, you're going to put 2. Now, we already know that c is 5, so I'm going to go ahead and put 5 in every time I have a c from now on. And now what I'm going to do is clean this up a little. So I have a times 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. So that would be a times 4, or 4a. And then b times 2 is 2b. The last thing I'm going to do to this equation is move the 5 to the other side. You will see why I do this a little later. So the first equation I got is negative 4 equals 4a plus 2b. I'm going to do the same thing with the other equation, which was 3, 2. So if it's 3, 2, that means every single y is becoming 2 and every single x is becoming 3 in standard form. And again, c is 5, so put a 5 in there. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the first one. I'm going to simplify the a and the b terms, and then I'm going to move the 5 over to the other side. 3 squared is 9. So we have 9a plus 3b. And then I'm going to move the 5 over. So here are my two equations. Now I've got two equations with two unknown variables. This means I can use a system to solve for A and B. So you can use either substitution or elimination, but I highly recommend elimination. So we're going to just rewrite these one on top of the other. If my computer is already lagging, we're in trouble. All right, so you can either eliminate A or B. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate B. So to eliminate B, I need to have opposite signs with the same coefficient. So in order to cancel this out, what I'm going to do is multiply the top equation by -3 and the bottom equation by 2. Make sure that you multiply all three terms by these numbers. So the top equation becomes 12 equals -12a minus 6b after I multiplied by -3. The second equation becomes -6 equals 18a plus 6b. Now I've got a -6b and a positive 6b. If I were to add that column together, they cancel. I'm going to do the same with the other two columns. 12 and -6 would be +6. -12 and 18 would be +6a. And now the last step is to get a alone, so I'm going to divide by 6. So we get that a is equal to 1. So we have our c value of 5. We now have our a value of 1. The last step is to find b. You can use whichever equation you want to figure out b. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these two equations, either -4 equals 4a plus 2b or -3 equals 9a plus 3b. I'm going to plug in a equals 1 and solve for b. So I'm going to use that top equation with the -4. Oof, this is rough. Okay, that's a plus 2b. So we have -4 is equal to 4 plus 2b. Move the 4 over, we get -8 is equal to 2b, and then divide by 2. So now we have our b value of -4. Now, if you just circle a equals 1, b equals -4, and c equals 5, that's not the answer. Remember, we're trying to find the equation. So all you have to do for your last step is put them into standard form. A was 1, b was -4, c was 5. So what I just wrote is correct, but we can make it look a little nicer. That would be our standard form.